What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's week 14, and I'm here with my defensive rankings to help you win your fantasy football matchups. It's a pivotal week, for fantasy football and in the NFL. A lot of buys in the NFL. A lot of fantasy managers are missing some of their star power, and picking a good and the right defense is probably going to be pivotal for a lot of people in their matchups because you're going to be needing an extra boost, possibly somewhere in your lineup. And hopefully a defense this week can provide that for you. I did a ton of research this week. I know how important it is for a lot of managers, especially this week. Some people are playing for playoff spots, some people are playing for a bye, some people are trying to play spoiler, and some people are trying to get into the playoffs. But without further ado, the last thing I would say is just go with your gut this week, guys. I'm going to provide some information. I'll try to simplify it as best as possible, but at the end of the day, I can give you as much information as possible, but you have to make that decision. And if your gut's telling you to go one way, then go with your gut. But let's just jump right into it for my tier one. It's going to start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Cleveland Browns. This is a 42-point total. They are being going to be at home, so we do get a home team here. I like them. They're my favorite defense this week. This Browns offense just gave up two defensive touchdowns to the Denver Broncos. And so I expect the defense for the Steelers to play really well in this one in a divisional matchup where they just lost to this team recently. Um, Philadelphia Eagles will be at 2. They're at home as well, playing the Carolina Panthers, 45.5-point total there. And then you have the Arizona Cardinals, who were really good for us the last few weeks. They've been phenomenal. They're going to be at 3 for me here, taking on the Seattle Seahawks at home. This line's 46.5. I actually feel like it's kind of lazy of Vegas to set this at 46.5. There haven't been a lot of points in their last few matchups in this Arizona and Seattle game. It's in division, and both defenses have been playing better. So I like the Arizona Cardinals a lot this week in tier one. And then you have the New Orleans Saints. They're going to finish off tier one at 4 here. The Saints have a juicy matchup against the New York Giants. 39.5 is the point total here. And the Giants give up a lot of points in fantasy to opposing defenses. They're fourth in the NFL in terms of points allowed to opposing defenses in fantasy, 8.5. The worry here is that the Saints defense is not great talent wise, but his Giants offense has given up 10 sacks the last 2 weeks, and Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock, they're both going to make mistakes no matter which one is, at the helm, slinging the football around. In tier two, I have the Tennessee Titans starting off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This Titans defense is actually talented, guys. It's not a high point total in this game. They did get banged around a little bit last week, but we get a 40-point total. It's the second lowest total on the week. No Trevor Lawrence. We're just going for upside here. I'm not really, I don't have much faith in Mac Jones in this matchup. And then I have the Minnesota Vikings here at 6. Minnesota Vikings, they've let a lot of people down. They are at home. It's a 46-point total playing against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons have been a really good matchup for opposing defenses. The Denver Broncos and the Chargers both had phenomenal weeks playing against the Falcons the last two matchups. Kirk Cousins is kind of a statue back there. And so if the Vikings are going to get right defensively, it's got to be this matchup. Then you get the Los Angeles Chargers here. Los Angeles Chargers take on the Chiefs, 43.5-point total. It's the fourth lowest total on the week. They are away here in this matchup, but this Chiefs offense has been up and down. Isaiah Pacheco is going to have an extra week, but you can't deny the talent on this Chargers defense. They've just been really good. And so they're probably more of like a safe floor play. Whereas, the Titans and the Vikings provide higher upside, but are probably not as safe. In tier three, it's a smaller tier. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 8 and the Buffalo Bills at 9. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are risky, guys. Don't get me wrong. They're playing against the Las Vegas Raiders, but it's not a high point total. We get 44.5, and the Bucs are at home favored by 7.5 points. I know this Raiders offense played well last week against the Chiefs, but we again, We got a home team. That was a divisional game. Sometimes those games can be really weird in division. And this Chiefs offense is not sorry, this Chiefs defense has been super up and down. So spoiler is that they're not even in the top 12 rankings this week. But then you have the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills take on the Los Angeles Rams. This is second highest total on the week, 48.5. This is really more of just a talent play. They get Matt Milano back. That defense just looks better. But they are away against the Rams. But Stafford is not as mobile, and he has thrown a decent amount of interceptions this year. And they've had some fumbling issues as well, but it's a good offense. I expect that to be a high point total in that game. And so I'm not in love with them, but it's a good defense overall. And again, the Rams offense tends to make some mistakes this year. And Stafford, we look for sacks, right? We look for sacks and turnovers, and Stafford definitely provides both of those. In tier 4 to close us out, we get the Miami Dolphins going up against the New York Jets. Dolphins are 7-point favorites. It's a 45.5 point total. The Jets are coming to the Dolphins, and the Jets have not played well in Miami. The last few times that they've played, Miami's had their number. And so I expect, this is more of a safer floor play. I don't expect a ton of upside by this Dolphins defense. Then you have the Detroit Lions going up against the Green Bay Packers. This Detroit Lions defense is just a good defense overall. They're here. It's a high floor play. I don't expect a ton out of them. If I'm going for upside, the Seattle Seahawks makes the most sense in this tier. Kyler Murray and that offense here. Seattle's at 12, but Kyler Murray and that offense have had their issues. They've been up and down. And so, I think the Seattle Seahawks are probably a higher upside. You need to understand your risk tolerance though, guys. That's the biggest thing here. The rankings are not just black and white when it comes to these for defense. You have to understand, like, is it more advantageous to go with a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or do you settle for, the Chargers if you have them on your roster, who's probably safer, but they go up against a tougher matchup and they're also away. So you just have to weigh out your risk tolerance. And if you're missing a lot of firepower and you're in a must-win week due to all the buys, you might want to go with a riskier matchup that has more upside. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Again, thank you so much for sticking with me this season. It's been an absolute blast. A lot of off-season content is going to be coming to you as well. We have a lot of different avenues that we're going to explore, but drop your questions below in the comment section. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Good luck.